Welcome to week 11, day 3 of the Bible in a Year Live Tanakh project. Today we'll be reading Joshua 12 to 15 from the Complete Jewish Bible. Our scriptures today records the list of defeated kings, showing the completeness of Israel's victories under Moses and Joshua. The narrative then shifts to the division of the conquered land, beginning with Judah's large inheritance, including Caleb receiving Hebron as a reward for his faithfulness. These chapters emphasize God's fulfillment to his promises through conquest and the allotment of the territory of his people. Let's dive in. These are the kings of the land whom the people of Israel defeated, and of whose land they took possession. Across the Jordan toward the east, from the Arnon Valley to Mount Hermon, and all the Arava eastward. Shicon, king of the Amorite, who lived in Heshbon and ruled the territory that includes Aor at the edge of the Arnon Valley, the middle of the valley, half of Gilead to Yabok River, which forms the border with the people of Ammon, the Arava to the lake Kinneret, eastward, and the sea of the Arava, the Dead Sea, eastward by way of Beit Yeshimot, and on the south under the slopes of Pigash. There was also the territory of Og, king of Bashan, who belonged to the remnant of the Rephaim. He lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and he ruled Mount Hermon, Selka, all Bashan, to the border with the Geshurai and the Mahakatai, and half of Gilead, to its border with Sihon, king of Heshbon. Moshe, the servant of Adonai, with the people of Israel, defeated them, and Moshe, the servant of Adonai, gave it to Reubenai, the Gadai, and the half-tribe of Manasseh as their possession. Following are the kings of the land whom Yeshua, with the people of Israel, defeated in the area west of the Jordan between Baal-Gad in Lebanon Valley and the bare mountain that goes up to Seir. Yeshua gave this land, inhabited by the Hittite, Amorite, Canaanite, Perizzite, Hivite, and Yebusite, to the tribes of Israel to possess according to their divisions in the hills. The Shephelah, the Arava, the mountain slopes, the desert, and the Negev. The king of Jericho, the king of Ai by Beit El, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Yarmouth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Jezer, the king of Dever, the king of Geder, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Livna, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Beit Hel, the king of Tapwash, the king of Hefer, the king of Ephek, the king of Sharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hatzor, the king of Shimron Meron, the king of Akshaph, the king of Tanakh, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kedesh, the king of Yokneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the region of Dor, the king of Goyim in Gilgal, and the king of Tirzah, making a total of 31 kings. Now Yahshua was old. The years had taken their toll. Adonai said to him, "You are old, and the years have taken their toll, but there is yet a great deal of land to be possessed." This is the land that still remains, all the regions of the Fishlim, all the Geshurai, from Shekor, which fronts Egypt, to the border of Ekron, northward. From there the land is considered as belonging to Kenyanai. That is the territory of the rulers of the Plislim in Asa, Ashdod, Akeshalon, Gat, and Ekron, also the Avim. To the south, all the land of Kenyanai, Meara, which belongs to the Sidonim, as far as Aphek, and onto the border with the Amorite, the land of the Givli, all the Lebanon eastward, from Baal Gad at the foot of Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath. As for the inhabitants of the hills between Lebanon and the Misrephothmaim, that is, all the Zidonim, I myself will expel them ahead of the people of Israel. All you have to do is assign it to Israel an inheritance as I have ordered you. So now divide this land as an inheritance for the 9 tribes and the half tribes of Manasseh. With the half tribe of Manasseh, the Reubenite and the Gadai received their inheritance, which Moshe had given them, beyond the Jordan eastward, just as Moshe the servant of Adonai had given them, from Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Valley, the city in the middle of the valley, all the plateau between Mivdah and Divon, and all the cities of Shecon, king of the Amorite, who ruled in Heshbon, to the border with the people of Ammon, and Gilead, the territory of the Geshuri, and Mahakatai, all Mount Hermon, all Bashan as far as Salcah, that is, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who ruled in Ashtaroth and Edrei. Og was one of those remaining from the Rephaim, whom Moshe defeated and expelled. However, the people of Israel expelled neither the Jeshuri nor the Machathai, with the consequence that Jeshur and Mahakat had lived among Israel to this day. Only the tribe of Levi did Moshe give no inheritance, because the offerings made by the fire for Adonai, the God of Israel, are its inheritance, as Adonai had said to Moshe. Moshe gave land to the tribe of the descendants of Reuben by clans. Their territory included Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Valley, in the city in the middle of the valley, all the plateau near Midvah, Heshbon and its villages on the plateau, Divon, Bamoth Baal, Beit Baalmon, Yahatz, Kedemoth, Mephiat, Kirataim, Sivma, Zeret Shachar at the top of the valley, Beit Peor, the slopes of Pigash, Beit Yeshimoth, all the cities of the plateau, all the kingdoms of Shicon, king of the Amorite, who ruled Heshbon. Moshe defeated him with the chiefs of Midian, along with Evi, Rechem, Zer, Hur, and Reva, the princes of Sicon who lived in the land. Along with the others, the people of Israel killed with the sword. They also struck down Bilam, the son of Beor, who practiced divination. The Jordan formed the border of the descendants of Reuben. This was the inheritance of the descendants of Reuben by clans, with its cities and villages. Moshe gave land to the tribe of Gad, to the descendants of Gad by clans. Their territory included Yazer, all the cities of Gilead, half the land of the people of Ammon, as far as Aroer fronting Reba, that is, from Heshbon to Ramoth Mitzveh, and Bitomin, and from Mayachanim to the border of Lidvir, while in the valley it included Beit Haram, Beit Nimrah, Sukkot, and Zaphon. In other words, the rest of the kingdom of Shechem of Heshbon, with the Jordan to the far end of the lake Kinneret as its border. Their territory extended eastward. This is the inheritance of the descendants of Gad by clans, with its cities and villages. Moshe gave an inheritance to the half tribe of Manasseh. It was for the half tribe of the descendants of Manasseh by clans. Their territory included Machanaim and all Bashan, that is, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, all the villages of Yahir in Bashan, 60 cities, half of Gilead, and Ashtaroth and Edrei, the cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All this was for the descendants of Machir, the son of Manasseh, or rather, for half of the descendants of Machir by clans. These are the inheritance which Moshe distributed in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan and Jericho, eastward. But to the tribe of Levi, Moshe gave no inheritance. Adonai, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he told them. Joshua 14. These are the inheritance which the people of Israel took in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the Kohen, Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the ancestral clans of the tribes of the people of Israel distributed to them, by lot for them to inherit, as Adonai ordered through Moshe, for the 9 tribes and the half tribe. Moshe had already given the inheritance to the 2 tribes and the half tribe beyond the Jordan. To the Levim he gave no inheritance among them. The descendants of Joseph constituted 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they gave no portion of the land to the Levim except cities to live in, with the open land surrounding them for their livestock and crops. As Adonai had ordered Moshe, so the people of Israel did. They divided the land. The descendants of Judah approached Yeshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Yefuneh, the Kiznai, said to him, "You know what Adonai told Moshe the man of God about me and you in Kadesh Barnea? I was 40 years old when Moshe, the servant of Adonai, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to reconnoiter the land, and I brought back to him an honest report. My brothers who went up with me discouraged the people, but I followed Adonai, my God, completely. On that day Moshe swore, 'Surely the land where your foot has been will be the inheritance for you and your descendants forever, because you have followed Adonai, my God, completely.' Now look, Adonai has kept me alive these 45 years, as he said he would. From the time Adonai said this to Moshe, when Israel was going through the desert. Today I am 85 years old, but I am as strong today as on the day Moshe sent me. I am as strong now as I was then, whether for war or simply for going here and there. Therefore, give me this hill, the one Adonai spoke about on that day. For on that day you heard how the Anakim were there with great fortified cities. Perhaps Adonai will be with me, and I will drive them away, as Adonai said." Yeshua blessed him and gave Hebron to Caleb the son of Yefuneh as his inheritance. So Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Yefuneh, the Kiznai, as it is to this day, because he followed Adonai, the God of Israel, completely. Hebron was formerly called Kiryat Arba. This Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. Then the land had a rest from war. Joshua 15. The territory chosen by Lot for the tribe of the descendants of Yehuda according to their families extended to the border of Edom in the Tizin desert, toward the Negev in the far south. Their southern border began at the far shore of the Dead Sea, from the bay facing southward, and went out south of the Scorpion Ascent, passed towards Zin, went up south of Kadesh Barnea, passed Hetzron, went up toward Edar, turned toward Karka, passed toward Atzmon, and went out at the valley of Egypt. With the border ending at the sea, this will be your southern border. The eastern border was the Dead Sea to where the Jordan entered it. The northern border began at the Bay of the Sea at the end of the Jordan. Then the border went up to Beit Ogla, and passed north of Beit Arava. The next border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. Then the border went up to Devere from the Achor Valley, then northward facing Gilgad. That is across from Mahalai Adumim, which is on the south side of Vadi. Next, the border passed to the En Shemesh spring and went out at En Rogel. Then the border went up the Ben Hinnom Valley to the south side of the Yisvusai, that is Jerusalem. And the border continued up to the top of the hill in the front of Hinnom Valley on the west, which is also at the northernmost end of Rephaim Valley. From the hilltop, the border was drawn to the source of the Nephtosh spring and continued out to the cities of Mount Ephron. Next, the border was drawn to Bahala, that is Kiryat Yearim. Then the border turned from Baal westward to Mount Seir, past the spur of Mount Yearim, also called Kesalon, on the north, went down to Beit Shemesh and past Timor. Next, the border went out toward the site of Ekron northward, and finally the border was drawn to Sikrom, past Mount Bahala, and went out at Yavneel, with the border ending at the sea. As for the west border, the Great Sea was its border. These were the borders of the territory of the descendants of Yehuda by clans. To Caleb the son of Yefuneh, he gave a portion with the descendants of Yehuda, as Adonai ordered Joshua, namely Kiryat Arba. Arba was the father of the Anak, also called Hebron. Caleb expelled from there 3 descendants of Anak, Sheshai, Achiman, and Talmai, children of Anak. From there he went up to fight the inhabitants of Devere. Devere was formerly called Kiryat Sefer. Caleb said, "So whoever overpours Kiryat Sefer and captures it, I will give my daughter Aksha as his wife." Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's brother, captured it, so he gave him Aksha, his daughter, as his wife. After becoming his wife, she persuaded him to ask her father to give them a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What do you want?" She said to him, "Give me a blessing, since you gave me land in Negev. Also, give me sources of water." So Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the descendants of Yehuda by clans. The city at the outer part of the tribe of Yehuda toward the border of Edom in the south were Kavziel, Eder, Yager, Kinya, Demona, Adaha, Kedesh, Hatzor, Yitman, Ziph, Telem, Bealot, Yatzor, Hadath, Kiriot, Hetzron, which is Hatzor, Amam, Shema, Molada, Hatzor, Gada, Heshmon, Beit Pelet, Hatzar Shoal, Beersheba, Bezyah, Bahalaha, Iyim, Etzem, El Tolad, Kesil, Hormah, Ziglag, Madmana, Sansana, Levaot, Shilkim, Ayin, and Rimmon, 29 cities in all, together with their villages. In the Shephelah, Eshtaol, Tizura, Ashna, Zanoch, Ehim Genim, Tapwach, Enam, Yarmut, Adulam, Soka, Azekah, Sharim, Adityaim, Gedera, and Gederatim, 14 cities together with their villages. Tizna, Hadash, Migdalgad, Dilan, Mitzveh, Yoktehel, Lakish, Botzat, Eglon, Kabon, Lakshmash, Kitlish, Jidorot, Beit Dagon, Nahama, and Makeda, 16 cities together with their villages. Livna, Etir, Ashan, Yiftach, Ashna, Nitziv, Kelia, Akziv, and Mareshah, 9 cities together with their villages. Ekron with its own towns and villages, from Ekron to the sea, all those near Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod with its towns and villages, Aza with its own towns and villages, to the Valley of Egypt with the great sea at its border. In the hills, Shamir, Yatir, Sokoa, Dana, Kiryat Sana, that is Dever, Anav, Eshtmo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilor, 11 cities together with their villages. Arav, Duma, Eshan, Yanom, Beit Tapwach, Afekah, Humta, Kiryat Arba, that is Hebron, and Tizior, 9 cities together with their villages. Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Utah, Yisrael, Yokdeam, Zanok, Kaim, Giva, and Timor, 10 cities together with their villages. Halkol, Beit Zizur, Jidor, Maharat, Beit Anot, Elchon, 6 cities together with their villages. Kiryat Baal, that is Kiryat Yearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities together with their villages. In the desert, Beit Aravo, Midin, Shakaha, Nivshan, Ir Hamelech, and En Gedai, 6 cities together with their villages. As for the Yevusi, who lived in Jerusalem, the descendants of Yehuda could not drive them out, so the Yevusi live with the descendants of Yehuda in Jerusalem to this day. This is God's word. We honor it by saying amen. Be sure to join us tomorrow where we continue reading the book of Joshua.